Hello everyone out there in YouTube land. My name is Will, this is Will of the Nerds, and we're back with another deck tech video. I have done a few decks, as you can see the last few I've done there. Today we're doing another dino deck. As you can see, I've done white, red, green dinos. Today is just going to be mono green dinos, so that's what I'm going to type in, mono green, dinos, and casual format as the usual. And as you can probably tell, mono green, it's going to be nothing but forests, so I have to fish them out here, and we'll see how many we have. Well, it looks like I already have them separated. I might have actually gone through this deck and fixed some stuff in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24. Probably added a few lands. So, let us add 24 of these into the main deck. And then, since everything's separated, that's awesome. Which means this should be a pretty quick video, hopefully. Alright, so the first thing we have is Thundering Spineback. So let us type that in. Thundering Spineback for 3 of. And all of mine are from Ixalan or whatever, so we are going to have to change that set. And we're going to update, and let's look at this. Other dinosaur creatures get a +1/+1. 6 mana, 5 colorless, and a green. Create a 3/3 green dinosaur creature token with trample. Okay, so it buffs your dinosaurs, obviously, so this will go good in just about any dinosaur deck. It is a high mana cost, but, I mean, for 5/5, and it buffs your other dinosaurs, and basically, if you've got nothing else to play, you can still create a free dinosaur. So, like, if you have no cards in hand or you're not drawing any creatures, at least if you have the mana, you can plop yourself a 5/5 dino down to at least maybe block to get through the turn. And that is that. Next, we have Runic Armasaur. Runic Armasaur, which is probably going to be the only one. We have 2 of these. And yes, they are from M19, so I don't have to change that set. If you can see it there, I'll just read it off of this. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of a creature or land that isn't a mana ability, I may draw a card. Which kind of helps with, since it's a 3-drop, that's very nice. Especially since a lot of the dinosaurs are a little bit higher mana cost. So, if they activate an ability, you draw a card, and you won't have to discard till the end of your turn. So if you missed a land drop, then maybe you can get your land drop and get another dinosaur out. Again, that would work in multiple decks, not just dinosaur decks. Okay. Next we have Cherished Hatchling. Cherished. And I did not spell that right, apparently. C-H-E-R... Oh, shed. There we go. We have 2 of these, and from Rivals of Ixalan. What do you do? We're going to click on that. It does a lot. Alright, whenever it dies, I may cast a dinosaur spell this turn as though it had flash. Whenever I cast a dinosaur spell this turn, it gains when this creature enters the battlefield. You may have it fight another target creature. So it's not bad. It's a... I think I have it mostly in there as a cheap dinosaur and kind of a blocker. I don't know if I've ever used that ability. So when it dies, you can... Okay, so it's mainly meant to like jump block and then cast another dinosaur to get out. You can play another turn, but if you attack and it dies, you can still do the same thing. Yeah, so dinosaur spell this turn, it gains... Oh, so that's any dinosaur too, it seems like. So whenever you cast a dinosaur spell this turn, it gains that. So that dinosaur gains that turn, which could really come in handy, especially towards late game if you don't have a Plummet or anything in your hand and they have a flying creature. and you could plop down like Thundering Spineback or something, a 5/5, and do 5 damage to the flyer, that would actually be a nice trade. Okay, next we have Verdant Sun's Avatar. It's AN, okay. Well, there's a lot of Verdants, apparently. Verdant Sun's Avatar. They are from Ixalan, so I'm going to have to change that set real quick. Ixalan, let's look and see what it does. When this or another creature enters the battlefield under you control, you gain life equal to that creature's toughness. So it's a high mana cost, so it's in here for more, I guess, late game to maybe get you a little bit of life to edge out your opponent. It would also work in a white-green life gain deck too. But like chances are, I have a life gain deck. I don't think I've done it on this video yet, or on this. I don't think I've made a video of it yet. But I have a lot of other creatures in there, which I guess this would work if you have Sunscorched Regent or Ajani's Pridemate, which could get big really quick, and then you plop that down and you're getting like 10 life. And if you have other stuff on the field that if you gain life, you gain twice as much life. So that could be a big swing in your favor, especially if you have those cards on the field. All right, next we have Polyraptor. We have Shore. I got to move my microphone, so sorry if it pops a little bit. It's a little turned off to the side. All right, so we got 2 of these. Oh, we need to... I didn't save that. We need Ixalan and update. And you can hear my dogs yipping in the background at each other, being a pain in the butt. And Rage. Whenever Polyraptor is dealt damage, create a token that's a copy of Polyraptor. That's nice. It's a 5/5. It has a very big mana cost at 8. It would be better... It would be nice if you'd be able to give it reach. If there was a way to give this reach... perfect. It might be worth it to put if there's an artifact that gives a creature reach, I would definitely put it in here and put it on Polyraptor. Then whenever you get a token, you can put it on your token and give it reach and just keep moving it as long as, if Polyraptor, if this dies, you get a token of it and your artifact stays, and then you can move it on to your next one and it gets reach. And if it dies, it's going to take damage and create another one, and then just keep moving it. And that would be a nice way to take out some blockers, especially if you have, not Runic Armasaur, where'd it go? Thundering Spineback out, because it's going to be a 6/6 then, and possibly more, depending on how many of them you get out. Okay, so now we have a couple snapping Sailback. So, snapping. And there it is. We have 2 of them. They are from Ixalan. Let's see. You have Flash. Whenever this is dealt damage, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It's a bit of a high mana cost too, though. But you can just use it to chump block. You use it to chump, not chump block. Use it to chump block the smaller creatures that your opponent's attacking with. Like they're attacking with a 1/1 or a 2/2. And they're like, oh yeah, it's nothing. Well, next thing you know, you probably have like a 6/6 or a 7/7 snapping Sailback. Plus the bonuses from a couple of your other dinosaurs, which is really nice. Next we have Spike-tailed Ceratops for a 2 of. They are from Ixalan as well. So let us find you. Spiked tail Ceratops can block an additional creature each combat. It's more than likely going to die after that, but I mean, it helps you block an additional creature. And especially if you were to give it reach or something like that, that would definitely help out. All right, so now we have the meme card, Colossal Dread Maw. Because why not? It's mono green. Why wouldn't I have Colossal Dread Maw in here? And I think it's the original one. I don't know why I added another one. I need to get rid of that. It is from Ixalan. Let's update. It just has trample. 6/6 trample for 6 mana. It's It's a mono green dinosaur deck. You should have seen that. Should have seen the memes coming. All right, we have Crested Herd Caller for our next one for 2 of, and this is from Rivals of Ixalan. So let us see. We need to change this to Rivals of Ixalan update. So we have Trample. When it enters the battlefield, create a 3/3 green dinosaur creature token with Trample. So it you get 2 3/3s for 5 mana basically. So I mean that's not bad. 5 mana, you basically get 2 creatures. And the funny thing is I didn't make any of these dinosaur decks until Ixalan and Rivals of Ixalan basically rotated out of Standard. So take that as you will, I guess. Okay, so this one, I don't remember ever seeing this one. Cacophon. Okay. C-A-C-O-P-H. Cacophon. For a 2 of. I don't remember this card at all. Enrage. Whenever this is dealt damage, untap target permanent. Okay. 4 mana for a 2/5. Untap another creature to block, maybe? That could work. Maybe if you have an instant to play. That untap a land. That would definitely work there. I don't think there's really much instants or sorceries in this deck that will help too much in this. Like there's probably plummets and like fogs and stuff like that, but other than that, I mean, you're not really looking at much. Okay, so now we have Knight of the Stampede for a 2 of. You could probably play a 3rd one of this and get rid of one. Apparently I have another 3 of somewhere in here. It would probably benefit to have a couple of these in here. 4 mana, dinosaur spells you cast cost 2 colorless less to cast. That helps a lot, obviously, with a lot of big stuff. Bad thing is, it's going to be a 4-drop to get it out. By then, I mean, is it going to benefit you? A little bit. But 4 mana, you have curve to make, like, probably half the drops in this deck at 4 mana. And if you make your mana drop every turn, you might be able to get 2 dinosaurs out a turn. That's probably where the best thing for it is. So on to the next, we have Territorial Allosaurus. Yeah, let's go with that. It's from Dominaria. I don't remember this one either. Okay, what do? You have a kicker cost. So 2 colorless and a green. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, it fights another target creature. Okay. And if it has the +1/+1s on it, it's going to do a little more than just a 5/5. For 4 mana, that's actually not bad. For a 5/5. And, I mean, that's, what, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 mana altogether. So, I mean, it's not terrible. It's good. 4 mana for a 5/5 is just good in itself, in my opinion. And it looks like I might be 1 card short, so we might have to throw a card in here. Because it looks like I might end up with 59 instead of 60. So, we will see. Ravenous, not Baloth. Oh, there it is. Daggertooth from Ixalan. Let us see. Where are you? There you are. Enrage. Whenever Ravenous Daggertooth is dealt damage, you gain 2 life. So a little bit of life gain for 3-drop for 3/2. Not terrible. It's probably going to die, but in the process of it dying, you're going to gain 2 life. So I feel like that's a decent trade. It probably wouldn't be bad to have a playset of those in there. You get your 3-drop, another 3-drop. I mean, you're going to have stuff on turn 2, but that's probably the earliest you're going to get anything in this deck, I believe. And there's a few turn 3 things. All right, so next we have Ripjaw Ripjaw Raptor for a 2 of. These are from Ixalan as well, so let's go in and change that. Ixalan, update, click on it again. Enrage. Whenever Ripjaw Raptor is dealt damage, draw a card. So a 4/5 for 4 mana, and you get to draw a card whenever it is dealt damage. That's nice, especially if you need to make your mana drop. I'm not a big fan of constant card draw. The fact, especially if you play a mill deck or somebody that's going to get rid of cards in your graveyard and make you discard cards. Card advantage is good, depending on the deck you're playing against. Could be bad. My friend has a deck that lets him do a lot of card draw. And if I play my mill deck and I concentrate on him, you know, it's kind of a win-win, win-lose kind of situation. Depends on what you're going against. Like, he could have 7 cards in hand, and he could need the 1 mana. There's been a few times where he needs 1 mana to cast something, and if I mill it, he can't get it back, and that basically just throws his whole deck off. I think that might have happened once before when we were playing, and he wasn't getting his mana drop, and I milled the 1 card he needed, and I think he just scooped because he couldn't do anything. Alright, next we have Death Gorge Scavenger for a 2 of. Let's scroll up and find him. I want to click on you. Whenever Death Gorge Scavenger enters the battlefield or attacks, you may exile target card from a graveyard. So it doesn't have to be you. Target any graveyard. If a creature card is exiled this way, you gain 2 life. If a non-creature card is exiled this way, it gets a +1/+1 to end of turn. The +1, I'm not a big fan of the end of turn kind of stuff. But being able to exile a card from somebody's graveyard, especially if they have graveyard play, is nice. Going up against a deck that has a big zombie or something in their grave, and they have it's not Grave Purge. There's something else that lets you get cards back from the graveyard. There's a few black cards that let you do that. But exiling that big creature so you don't have to deal with it again is always nice. Or I know a couple of the split cards can work that way. Or cards with flashback. They play the one side and then they get it back from their grave somehow and then play it again. Or there's spells like, oh, you have this many instants and sorceries in your graveyard, it's going to do this much damage, and you can just exile them whenever that attacks or does damage. Alright, now we have Winds of Cal Sisma. We have 2 of them. What's this? Fate Reforged, I believe. This is going to be at the bottom. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, which you more than likely do, instead prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn by creatures your opponents control. Alright. I guess that actually, I never really read that second part. So you can attack, and if they block, it's going to prevent all damage that their blocking creatures are going to do to your stuff, and your stuff's going to get through and still do damage. That's actually, I never noticed that bit before. I think I just looked at the first part and I threw it in my deck because I needed something, and I'm like, yeah, I need some kind of fog. So that ended up in there. All right, so now we have Overcome for 2 up. I enjoy this card for a few reasons. First, let's get the right set here. Hour of Devastation. Creatures you control get a +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn. That's everything. That's all your creatures. That's why I like it. I think there's Overcome and Overrun. I think Overrun's a +3/+3 and trample till end of turn. But they're both good cards. I really enjoy them just because it gives all of your creatures that, and it could be a good game ender to get over, especially like you have your tokens, a few token creation stuff here in trample that you can get over, and then like Polyraptor and stuff like that. If they're going to deal damage, they're just going to give you all kinds of benefits. All right, so let's update that. And the last... Okay, so we have 2 more cards yet left. So there's going to be 61 cards in the deck, which that's not bad. So it's Hunter's Ambush, which you could probably put Plummet in here. And I don't think I had any Plummets to put in here. So my opinion would be to put Plummet in here. So I'm going to click on 2 of these. It's going to be 61. That's not bad, especially with 24 lands. And you can get rid of them, play it 2 of, or get rid of something altogether and have a play set or 3 of something. If I can find the card, Hunter's right on it. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt by non-green creatures this turn. So, I mean, it helps a little bit unless you're playing somebody that's playing green. So, you know, it's better to have Fog. Like I said, I would probably put a couple Plummets in there just to have it, to destroy some flying creatures, because I don't think there's anything with reach in here. All right, so let's save this. Hit OK. We got 31 creatures, 2 sorceries, and 4 instants. Let's look at the detail. 65, so that's a little above average from what most of my decks have been. And Polyraptor is the most expensive at $14 a piece on TCG Player. And why are lands that much? So this is, like I said, never pay this much for lands. So it's a $44 deck. Like I said, never pay that much for lands. Go to a local game store. They're probably more than happy to give you lands for free. All right. And let's look at the visual spoilers one more time. There you go. And we'll go over the little bit here. So, like usual, we'll have a new hand. Usually when I play, you get 1 free mulligan. Then after that, you go down by 1 card. I'm probably not going to go much. We're just going to do a quick thing. You know, there's Cherished Hatchling. Get yourself a blocker out. There's that. Gives you a chance to play Hunter's Ambush. A little early in the game to do that. Wait till you have a little lower life. Of course, you get the other one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hopefully you get a land. You do. What do we have? Ripjaw Raptor, which is nice. When it's dealt damage, you get to draw cards. So that's probably the best thing to play. Although Knight of the Stampede would be the best route there. 2 off your creatures, which means this is green, green. That's green. So for 3 mana, you can play both of these cards. So you have 4 mana out. There's that. There's that. When this is okay, so and both of them have when they deal damage. So your opponent's going to have to choose. Either you're going to gain 2 life or you're going to draw a card. Chances are they're probably going to kill this thing, so they might just block that one. If they can block and kill this one, they might. All right, so let's add another card. Again, you can play this for 2 green mana. 2 green mana. Maybe you hold it to play the kicker cost. That's probably what I would do. So you can play this for, what, 4 mana? And that's what you have. You might as well play that. Buff your dinosaurs a little bit. So there's that. And if you have 1 more mana, I would swing out. Right now, I would just kind of play defensive. Maybe hold on a turn. That's good. That helps. So this is the turn that I would probably swing out with everything and play Overcome. So, like, turn 7, that's actually not terrible. So that you have a 5/5 that's getting a +2/+2. And that has trample. So you have a 5/5, that's a 7/7 going at them. A 4/5, which becomes a 6/7, plus another +1/+1. So that's 7 more coming at them. So that's 14 with trample. I'm going to assume Cherished Hatchling probably died at this point. And then you have 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 14. That's 20 damage right there going at them at turn 7. And they're probably going to block it, but you think of this. If this gets damaged, you're going to gain 2 life. This gets damaged, you get to draw a card. Chances are they're going to do that. It still has trample damage. I'm going to assume you're still going to get at least 10 through on that. You're tapped out. Well, your creatures are tapped out. And the nice thing is, if they go to swing next turn, oh, wait a minute. You are tapped out because you played Overcome. So if they attack next turn, you are going to get hit. So, I mean, here's another thing. Verdant Sun Avatar. You might as well play that. When play your land, play this, gain some life back. You're also going to get 2 life from that earlier. And then you could swing out. Actually, in all honesty, I would probably throw another Overcome in this deck. Because if you can get Overcome and maybe another Knight of Stampede, I think the deck would be a lot better. I probably have another Knight of Stampede. I don't know if I have another Overcome. I might have another Overrun. But, you know, there you go. I'm just going to go over the first few turns. So there's that. There's the probabilities. And we will end the video there. So if you guys could please like, subscribe, share, hit that bell icon. That way you get notified every time I upload a new video. You can follow me over on Facebook and Twitter. The links to those are in the description. And with that, I'll see you guys on the next one.